I thought I had the perfect life, until one envelope told me my daughter wasn't mine. My name is Michael Harris. For 20 years, I believed I had the perfect life. A steady job that paid well, a house in a quiet neighborhood, a beautiful wife named Emily, and a daughter, Sophie, who was the very light of my existence. People always described us as the ideal family, the kind you'd see in magazines or envy on social media. And for 20 years, I believed it too. Life was a comforting routine. Every morning, the sun would filter through the curtains and land on Sophie's bed. Her soft giggles would echo down the hall as she dressed for school, often dropping socks or tripping over her shoelaces. Emily, always calm and radiant, would correct her gently while humming a song I didn't recognize. I would sit at the kitchen counter, sipping my coffee, feeling the warmth of family that seemed unshakable. Those years passed in a blur of ordinary magic. Weekend park visits, late-night homework sessions, bedtime stories, and birthday celebrations. Sophie's laughter became my constant companion, and Emily's presence my anchor. One Thursday, everything changed. I returned home earlier than usual. The sun was still high, bathing our living room in golden light. I noticed Sophie's backpack on the couch and her sneakers by the stairs. But it wasn't the mess that caught my attention. It was a white envelope on the kitchen counter. No stamp, no sender, only 3 words. From Michael Harris. I smiled initially, thinking Emily had left me one of her charming notes. She used to do that in the early years of our marriage. Little reminders of love, hidden on my desk or taped to the fridge. But when I opened the envelope, my smile froze. The note inside read, "Sophie isn't your daughter." For a moment, the room seemed to tilt. My pulse thundered in my ears. I laughed, hollow, nervous, and unconvincing. Surely it had to be a prank. But deep inside, a chilling doubt took root. Dinner was unbearable that night. Emily spoke about Sophie's school project, her plan to build a model volcano. I nodded, forcing a smile. Yet all I could see were the subtle flickers of anxiety in Emily's eyes whenever they met mine. She had always been confident and unflinching, but tonight there was hesitation, fear, something unspoken. Sleep did not come easy. Every laugh from Sophie, every tender glance from Emily, stabbed at my thoughts. I began noticing things I had never noticed before. The way Sophie's green eyes mirrored Emily's, how her hair curled differently from mine, the way her laugh lacked the familiar tones I recognized in my own family. Memories of holding her as a newborn, cutting her umbilical cord, rocking her to sleep through fevers. All these moments clashed with the gnawing doubt inside me. Unable to endure the uncertainty, a week later, I found myself sitting in the car outside a pharmacy, holding 2 toothbrushes in a Ziploc bag, one mine, one Sophie's. I mailed them for a DNA test. The waiting was agonizing. Every hug from Sophie, every shared joke with Emily, felt like a betrayal. Every smile seemed layered with hidden questions. Does he suspect yet? Finally, the results arrived. My hands trembled as I held the envelope. With a deep breath, I unfolded it. The words tore through my heart. Probability of paternity, 0%. No match. Sophie was not my biological daughter. The shock was unbearable. For 20 years, I had loved and raised a child I believed was mine. Now, everything I thought I knew was unmoored. The evening was heavy with silence. I waited for Emily to return from work. The DNA results spread across the kitchen table. Each number and percentage seemed to mock me, tearing apart 20 years of life in a single glance. When she walked in, her smile faded instantly. She noticed the papers, and the color drained from her face. I could see her realize that the secret she had carried for so long was finally exposed. "Emily," I said quietly, my voice barely above a whisper, "we need to talk." She swallowed hard, avoiding my gaze. "Michael," she began, her voice trembling, I didn't want you to find out this way." I looked at her, my mind racing. Every happy memory suddenly felt like a lie. "Tell me the truth," I said, my voice low, steady yet breaking slightly. "Whose child is she?" For a long moment, she said nothing. Then tears began to fall, not soft, quiet tears, but deep, shuddering sobs that seemed to come from somewhere buried in her soul. "I wanted to tell you," she finally said, choking on the words. "I swear I did. I just didn't know how. Before I met you, I was in love with someone, Ryan Cooper. He left suddenly, without explanation. Weeks later, I found out I was pregnant. I tried to reach him, but he was gone, moved states, changed numbers. I didn't know what to do. Then I met you. You were kind, patient, steady, everything he wasn't. I never meant to lie. I thought the truth would destroy everything we built. I listened, silent. My heart ached in ways I had never imagined. For 20 years, I had been a father. 20 years of bedtime stories, scraped knees, first day of school nerves, birthday surprises. And now, I was told that all of it had no biological claim. Emily reached out to touch my hand. I pulled away. "I need time," I whispered, my voice shaking. I left the house that night, unable to breathe under the weight of reality. The next few days, I stayed at a motel by the highway, barely eating, barely sleeping. My mind replayed every moment with Sophie, every laugh, every tear. I felt like an intruder in my own life. One evening, there was a soft knock at my door. I opened it to see Sophie standing there, clutching a small stuffed bear, the one I had given her when she was 5. Her eyes were red from crying. "Dad," she whispered. "Mom said you're mad at her, but are you mad at me too?" I knelt down, feeling tears well in my eyes. "No, sweetheart," I said, my voice breaking. "I could never be mad at you. You are my whole world." That night changed everything. I realized that truth, biology, and DNA did not define the love I had for her. I was the one who had raised her, loved her, and been there through every moment of her life. The following months were some of the hardest of my life. Emily and I lived under the same roof, yet a wall of silence and tension separated us. Every word, every glance, seemed loaded with the weight of unspoken truths. Therapy became our refuge. Not just couples therapy, but individual sessions, too. Sessions where I tried to untangle the emotions of a father betrayed by biology, but bound by love. Slowly, the walls began to crumble. Emily was patient, showing remorse every day, never asking for forgiveness, but proving through actions that she was committed to our family. I began to understand that her choices, while painful, had been made out of fear and desperation, not malice. Sophie, oblivious of the full truth, remained the center of our lives. Every day with her was a reminder that love isn't determined by DNA. I taught her to ride her bike, stayed up all night when she had fevers, helped with homework, celebrated victories, and comforted her through failures. I was her father in every way that mattered. Years passed. The scars of betrayal softened, but never fully disappeared. One night, Sophie came to me quietly. She was 18, her face a mixture of fear and determination. "Dad, I need to know," she said softly. "Am I really yours?" My heart clenched. I took her hands in mine, looking into her eyes. "You are mine," I said gently, holding back tears. "Always have been, always will be. DNA does not make a father. Love does." Emily watched silently from the doorway, tears streaming down her face. We had come full circle. The truth, once so threatening, had been embraced. Our family was different now. Not the naive perfection of the past, but honest, raw, and resilient. That envelope, the words that had once shattered my world, had ultimately shown me the true meaning of parenthood. Blood may determine biology, but love determines a parent. Sophie was and always would be my daughter, not because of DNA, but because of every moment, every sacrifice, and every heartbeat I had given her. And in that realization, I found peace.